It's the NFL on EA Sports. And coming up, we'll see this team's speedy running back. He's cruising along and approaching a 1,200-yard season. Great game in store for y'all.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Salt Lake City ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Columbus club, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and off we go from Salt Lake City. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look at the man under center, now in his 8th season in the National Football League.
You know what I did in pregame? I made sure I touched him as he went by. I want a little bit of what he's got.
The golden arm from last week.
Oh, how much fun was that to watch that game tape, all right? The number of touchdowns, what was that, 5 last week?
Yeah.
But 0 interceptions. So you think he's due to throw a pick? But I'm betting they continues the streak in this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, it's Hyde. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
First down, a run with Hyde. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, you look at this defense.
They come into this one way down at number 23 against the run of the NFL.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. They try the middle with Hyde. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And this will be play number 8 of the opening drive. It's 3rd and short. He'll look to throw.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
And that one going to be off target and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high-percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, no introduction needed for this guy around the league. Now in his 7th season as a QB.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And on now is the punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
The home team's offense and their quarterback coming out for their 2nd drive. And he's come out of the gates hot. He's been on target with his throws, and that's reflected in the numbers as he'll look to keep it going here.
They start the drive with Hyde. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Gets it off to Freeman. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Back to throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
A good scheme and an early win for this pass rush. They got back there before he could work through his entire progression and ended that play early.
They bring their punter out there now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Let's take it inside his own 40.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards.
And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6.
Operating from the gun, Landry. His throw incomplete.
When you look at this defense,
Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
So I'm prepping for this game. I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And
too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
the 3rd down conversion successful, a gain of 11.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Back to throw now on 1st down. That'll be caught over the middle by Moss. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 2. Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Landry. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 21 yards away. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
Their first passing touchdown of the ball game, and they go to the big tight end and those sure hands, and he provides the score.
Certainly looked like they were focused on taking away other weapons, and he certainly made them regret that because he found the soft spot, ended up taking it to the end zone. Nice throw, too, to complete the play.
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Well, here we sit, Week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
These two teams all tied after 1. Salt Lake City with the football here to begin quarter 2. As they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. He'll look to throw. Little underneath throw into the hands of Walker. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. They'll set up to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it's 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss. Oh, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now they go screen, it's complete. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again.
So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their futures. They look ahead to the offseason. What spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
This is 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Landry. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Off play action, Landry. Looking for his tight end on the corner, it's complete. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And touchdown! A great effort there. 50 yards. And his guys have taken the lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. 5 plays there on that drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they can get this game tied up.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. They'll look to throw here.
That's to the sideline and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he can't escape, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. They'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's fourth down. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
Columbus's offense just about ready to go again.
Now their last 2 drives both ending in touchdowns. It's got them this 14-7 lead.
And it looks to me, and I think you're probably seeing the exact same thing, they're in an ideal spot now to create some separation. The way that they're functioning on offense now, they can create a pretty good gap, allows their defense to play with a little more verve and confidence.
A big article in the paper this morning about them stringing possessions together for consecutive touchdowns. Well, right here, they're trying to make it 3 in a row. And this one is incomplete.
I have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and a yard.
Up the middle, high. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Looking to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Handoff comes to Hyde.
That's some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 46 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They run again with Hyde on first. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They're going to look to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them at the end zone as the first half winds down.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
And his kick is good. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Columbus's offense just about ready to go again. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Now into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
And he'll bring this one back to the 29. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again.
They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9.
Back to throw here. He's got Freeman here. It's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
He'll drop to throw.
Back-to-back completions here to Freeman.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10.
Back to throw again. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll look to throw again.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to regain the lead.
This is where, as a tight end, you've got to really sell that this is a run. They're going to fake the give, hope the linebackers bite, and here they do just enough. That split second, that's all it takes for that tight end to leak out into the end zone. Touchdown.
Point after try forthcoming. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down. Back to throw. Landry being chased out left, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
So here's a 3rd and 14.
Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
He's going to try and do this himself.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd and 6.
So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on out to our studio.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter.
And a good return, but he pays the price at the end of it as he's picked up and thrown down. For this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. 57 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
Wide open receiver, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Off the play fake, Landry. And it'll be intercepted.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. They'll set up a throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. And that is incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down, then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over-pursuing, and making a very nice play.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
From the gun on 3rd down, Landry. That's caught inside the 20. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Looking to throw. Landry.
And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there.
Touchdown! A great play there. With his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. As his guys have now moved out in front.
I know we often laugh, and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. So that drive in total 8 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and is popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Oh, he had a man running free, but he overshot him, and it's incomplete.
My, if maybe that ball is 2 yards shorter, it's going to give them the lead because you had a receiver running free there. That's a tough one to miss on.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Operating from the gun, Landry. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Landry.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's another throw that could have been intercepted. Part of this, you credit the defense. They've been really stingy. But he's also made some really questionable throws, and that's another one right there.
This is taken at about the 14. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return.
Salt Lake City's offense back onto the field.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Quick throw to Freeman on a slant.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route, and the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's got this one complete to Fountain. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. One quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back live here now in Salt Lake City as we are set to bring you the home stretch here, the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. Now back to throw. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
Now, this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
And he will throw this one out of the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running play.
And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 6th rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guys have once again taken the lead.
And this is a time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now out comes this offense, led by their quarterback as they take over once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Hands it off out of the gun. 84 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Right back to him on first down.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49.
Holding offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Landry. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And That's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed. Operating from the gun, Landry. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
The drive had started well after a punt last time. Now it's slowed down a bit, and let's face it, they don't want to punt the ball in back-to-back series. They want a sustained drive on this one.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line.
Well, the home team's offense and their big play wideout getting ready to get back to work. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
Batted by the linebacker, but still adjusts and makes the catch.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
I know from experience, partner, all they've been talking about is if we can just make one play, get our hands on the ball one time, we can change this game.
They almost did. That was a dangerous throw.
And instead, it goes against them one more time. Let's see if they can hang in there and not lose control mentally.
Back to throw now on first down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Freeman. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
They'll look to throw here.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
They'll run it. Here's Hyde. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
He'll look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll make it second down. And he's got his man in stride, complete. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal.
Hyde will get down close to the goal line, but not in, as he'll be marked down at the 1.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Back to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
On 4th and goal, here's the option.
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out.
And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football. So this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself.
The situation for him offensively as follows. Down by a field goal, 1:47 on the clock. A chance to end this season with a bang as they come up with a 1st and 10. Now they set up the screen. That's complete.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the 1st down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the 1st and save a timeout.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's upended after a gain of 4 up to the 25-yard line. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Just the 1 timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Now that's to the left sideline and incomplete. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here.
He'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Here's 1st and 10.
Back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. He's back to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Maybe some temptation here to try to go for the win, but I think you got to kick the field goal.
I agree totally. When you look at the time left on the clock, that's not a spot where you take the gamble. Go ahead and kick the field goal here and take it from there.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. 4 seconds to go. This would send us to overtime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. 4 quarters not enough. We're all even, and to overtime we go.
How much fun is this for everyone who's watching the game? How much fun is it for us to see this one get an extra period to get settled?
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
Well, 4 quarters couldn't decide things, so it's on to overtime here as the kick is away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, they fought hard to reach this point, Charles, and now what an opportunity. They've got the ball first, a chance to take this overtime win away from the hostile crowd.
And you know, as the quarterback steps into the huddle, the first thing he's telling his team is, remember, we need 6, not 3. So we don't need a good drive. We need a great drive. And this is what they've been planning for. It's time to execute and take it downfield, even against all these odds.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego, because a lot of times you have so many different plays you want to call, but when you spot a matchup that's working for you or a player that has the hot hand, keep giving it to him. That tells me you're mature as a play caller, and it's working for them in overtime.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Operating from the gun, Landry. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
And that nearly picked off. Oh, that would have been a big INT here in overtime. Instead, they'll get another shot on 3rd down.
Back to throw again. And he's got this down to the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
We'll play only the 1 overtime here. If time runs out, it'll be a tie as they come up on 2nd down.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
And that's going to be incomplete.
I know you felt like saying touchdown there, didn't you, partner? That looked like a sure 6 points, but the contact jarred it free.
Got his hands on it, could not hold on through the end of the play. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
But they've certainly not shied away from throwing the footballs. They've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They'll try to run this one in.
Yeah, he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime.
So it's our visitors that come away with a victory here, and it was thanks in part to their man under center, their veteran quarterback.
Yeah, he really carved this defense up, didn't he? Threw for almost 400 yards, had 4 touchdown passes, and when he gets back to the locker room, there's a game ball definitely in his future. I can guarantee you that.
So for Columbus,
they'll wrap up on a high note, but will still finish 3 games below 500 at 7-10.
and by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for Salt Lake City,
it's a tough loss to take as they'll finish things off at 9-8.
but they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.